Hey, NOSA community. It is Shamika and I am returning. We're going back to back today. Welcome to our YouTube channel here as we continue the conversation about marketing. We already talked a little bit about how to develop your marketing plan, but let's jump into how to actually create the strategy, like the things that you're going to do. So the things that you put within your plan that you want to actually implement. So let's touch on those things and let's get started. But before we get started, please make sure to go ahead and subscribe to our channel here at the NOSA. We are a thriving, growing community here. We are excited to expand over to YouTube and touch and connect with the community here. As always, check out our website and then also check out the community tab that sits right about here in the YouTube channel to find out about upcoming events and activities that we're having in our community. And then you can always join the Facebook group, which will allow you to get easier, quicker access to new topics and upcoming events. So your marketing strategy. So you need a strategy for everything. You need a marketing strategy. You need a business plan. You need a marketing plan. You need a implementation process. So all of those things are really, really key and important when you're starting your staffing business. So when I tell people take your time, this is what I mean when I say take your time. Really sitting down with things like this can save you tons of time and tons of money so that you're not stuck trying to figure out why you're not getting enough applicants or clients, why you're not retaining them. So really take the time out to get these things together so that once you get going, these aren't things that you have to come back to. So let's get started on creating a marketing strategy. So first, what is a marketing strategy? So it's essentially a plan that the business uses to promote their products or services to their target audience. It includes tactics such as market research, advertising, social media, pricing, and distribution channels. And all those things come together, and they're really important and key. So sometimes we think, or I've had people think, or I've maybe even thought myself, that, hey, I'm a nurse. I want to run a staffing agency. All I need is some money, some people, and some clients. But there's way more that goes into the process, especially if your goal is to actually have a sustainable and quality industry, right? So you want your agency to sustain over time. You don't want your agency to pop up and then go away. So really having these things in place also opens doors for you when you talk about getting local, state, and federal contracts. When you think about the different ways that you'll be able to segue if you're looking to go into other industries like home care or infusion care or concierge nursing or any of those types of things. So this is things that you sit down early on and work through so that you don't have to circle back to them later. But just like any document, it's all living documents. So if you need to make some edits, some tweaks, I would definitely encourage you to do that. So there's different types of marketing. So marketing can be digital marketing, social media, content, email. We'll talk more about that. Influencer marketing, engine optimization or SEO, pay per click, advertising, event marketing, traditional marketing or advertising such as television, radio, and print. So during this presentation, I'll probably touch on some of the more popular ones that are specific to healthcare staffing or that have been done successfully in healthcare staffing. And then I'll definitely touch on some of the more forward-thinking ones, and that'll be like your bottom ones, like your influencer marketing, search engine optimization, pay-per-click advertising. So, and you can definitely give me the feedback on what you're using. Drop it in the comments here and let us know what you're using, what works for you. And then you want to always be open to, hey, Shamika, print ads or email marketing, those are the only things that work for me. I'm going to stick to that and then not use all of these things. So I encourage you to explore all of them, find what works, but always be open to switching up as you need to. How can marketing be used in the healthcare industry? So in the healthcare industry, we kind of have a dual two-sided process where we're actually promoting healthcare services for staffing, as well as building a brand. One of the most important things that you want to think about when you think about healthcare, especially on the staffing side of it, is that your agency is your brand. So when you think about the NOSA group, or when you think about such and such agency or that agency, there's so many to choose from. Those thoughts that come to mind are kind of generated from the imagery and the messaging that you as the brand's creator have established. So when you look at the certain colors or the way that the images at the bottom look, that's kind of becoming a part of our brand. So if you notice, we recently had a logo change and some branding added. So everything you see with us has a more sensible, connected community type of feel, because that's essentially what we want to have you guys see when you think about our logo or our business, as well as what you have as an experience being a part of the community. That's the same thing that goes into your naming of your business. You want to think through, hey, does this name fit where I'll be in the next 10 years, or what will be happening for me in the next 10 years? So when you're thinking about your title, your brand, your colors, the look, the feel, if you're doing taglines, those things, you really want to think more futuristically than in present day, because that's something that'll stick with you. Like the Apple, the little image of the Apple, or Google, or Facebook, the little image of the F, or Meta, Twitter. All of those things have something that you immediately recognize, but also you recognize and have a specific type of experience through using those different services and products. So some ways to think about how you can differentiate yourself as a healthcare professional against competitors is to really think about and look at other brands. Look at other brands that offer what you offer, especially in the communities or states that you're working is really good. But you also want to think about beyond that. So like when you think of IntelliCare, or when you think of Maxim, or American Mobile, or Cross Country, or there's so many other agencies, what comes to mind? And really take out the time to sit down and write those things down. When you think about different products that are connected to it, like platforms that people use, or Gypsy Travel Nurse, or MedVenture, or those different types of things. Think about what you see that's kind of a commonality, and really think through that as far as the message that your particular company is offering. So here's some ways to help you create your marketing strategy. So you want to define your audience. So who is your target audience? Who is your ideal client? And who is your ideal applicant or employee? What do they look like? What do they like to do? Where do they go? Where do they hang out? What types of social media do they use? Are they people who would read magazines, or would they be on TikTok or Instagram? Are they individuals that would hang out at conventions or events, or small business activities? Or would they be individuals who spend more time on the email or their desktop or office? So those are kind of ways or things to think about when you talk about defining your target audience. Other things to consider too, like when you talk about preparing your market research, is to understand your audience needs. What's their age? Are they in school? Are they going back to school? Is that something that's a factor for them? Especially on the employee side, do they look for work flexibility? Do they like to have on-demand pay? Would they want more, non-traditional or fringe style benefits? Do they look to have more experiences versus pay? So you want to think about what that looks like on both sides of the coin, from employee and client standpoint of view. For your clients, some market research would be, are they working in a mid to small size building or facility? Would they be the DON, human resources, the scheduler? Who would that person be? And then, what is important to them? Is it just kind of filling the need of the staff, having flexibility to fill the needs is for last minute requests? Are they wanting to have more technology or a lower price? Is price point and budget really a area that they focus in on when it comes to making decisions? You want to set clear and measurable marketing goals. And what that can look like can vary from agency to agency. And it always looks a little bit different, whether you're targeting a client or you're looking for applicants, but you want to make sure that it's specific as far as I want to hire 10 employees by the end of first quarter 2023. Or I want to connect with 8 clients by the end of first quarter 2023. The more clear, measurable, and timely you make it, it makes it easier for you to kind of develop those things that you need to be doing to get you there. And then finally, number 4, determine your unique selling proposition. So that's something that's always a part of our industry that can be a challenge in these times. And it's like, why would I work for you? Why would I work with you? Those questions you need to have clear, concise answers to. So why would I work for you from an employee standpoint of view? And then why would I work with you from a client standpoint of view? You want to have like a lot of different words and buzzwords and different scenarios played out clearly so that that can help you develop a stronger strategy. Some other things to consider when you're creating your marketing strategy is you want a budget. So this is kind of where we go in and we talk about some of the more traditional ways that people have gone about marketing their business through TV or through ads, through mailers or flyers or cards or showing up at facilities. Those are definitely traditional things people have done to market their business. But you also want to think about some of the non-traditional things that we've seen happen more and more. And that looks like social media. That looks like hosting webinars, events, or activities. We've seen a lot of staffing agencies take their employees or their potential employees outside of the healthcare setting, whether it be for a meet and greet or a trip or different ways or game night or different things to entice them to just kind of find out more information about them. Another way to market your business will be hosting regular Zoom sessions for potential clients, allowing people to get to know you in a non-direct and non-threatening setting where you can share a little bit about what you do, how you do, who you work with. It would probably also be a great opportunity to incorporate some of your current employees on a Zoom session with a client just so they can, hey, put a name to a face, and then also have the experiences of your employees be able to be shared. And then you can also do Facebook ads. So Facebook ads is a definite way, in my opinion, to get your agency out there. I get bombarded with Facebook ads, as you guys, I'm sure, do as well, all of the time, from so many different agencies. And what that does is kind of put your agency in front of your target market. So it's not to say the person is going to click. It's not to say they're going to apply. It's not to say they're going to do any of those things, but they could. But it makes it a lot easier to kind of go through the process of creating an ad, determining where you want to be, who you want to look at, or who you want to look at the ad, and then, figuring out the next steps next. So that's kind of where you want to think about your budget, cost of creating those types of materials or products. One thing that I tell people that's a really cool marketing tool that I've seen quite a few NOSAs use is infographics. Infographics are a fun way to give a snapshot, colorful, bright, engaging way to show agencies, partners, potential partners, or other types of companies that you could collaborate with about, hey, this is what we do. This is what we do. You can include number of clients, the region you cover, specialties. You can include any sort of specialization that you have. Like if you're a labor and delivery agency that specializes in that, I would surely put that on my infographic. It's on Canva. Canva has a free version. So that's a great way to just kind of highlight bullet points, because sometimes doing emails and outreaches on the phone and things like that don't always take the cake, but dropping it in a email message or dropping it as a part of your presentation that you share with your community or on your Facebook page or your different social media is a great way to kind of give people a little chunk about what you do and get more information as they need to. Next, you want to make sure that you're creating a content plan. So I've talked to so many thousands of people over the years about your social media content. Social media is where people hang out. Don't know the statistics on it as of yet, but a lot of healthcare professionals hang out on social media. A lot of healthcare professionals, including myself, when I was in the industry, get job opportunities solely through social media. So if you don't have a presence there, you're really missing out on a free audience. And having a content plan really allows you to do that. So you want to make sure that you're putting out content not only consistently, but that resonates with your audience. And this is sometimes where, as NOSAs, we get a little bit hicked up as far as making sure that we're not posting like on our Facebook business page, jobs, jobs, jobs. We get it. You're an agency. You don't have to do that. You definitely want to include a page or two or a post or two about it. But what else is going on? What's going on in the locations where your jobs are located? What's going on in the industry that might affect me? What special events or activities might you be doing for your employees? So shout out to all the NOSAs who are definitely doing that part, who are showing things that your particular agency is doing in the community, who are doing employee spotlights, where they're allowing their employees to be spotlighted for their great service. It could be for their tenure at that particular business. It could be for a combination of things. Shout out to the NOSAs who recently spotlighted their Christmas and holiday parties where you gave away different things and you had a good time, because that really gives a feel for what your agency is about beyond all of the job postings and opportunities in that direction. You want them to kind of feel like, hey, I can be a part of this too. And then number 7, of course, implement your plan regularly. Measure and analyze your results to make adjustments as needed. Probably in the next presentation, we'll talk more about how to analyze those results, especially from a social media platform. Meta, and all the social media platforms have stats on what your posts are doing, how they're doing, the level of engagement, the number of likes, if you have a video, how much content people are watching. So those are great tools to tell you or help you say, hey, let's post more things like this and less things like this. And that's not something that you have to rack your brain about to say, oh, well, I don't know if it's working. And then, of course, for those of you guys who are way advanced in the process, you can definitely hire social media managers or social media manager types who'll do that for you. And then you always want to analyze your results. So what do my results look like? Is what I'm doing working? Is it not working? Same thing with doing reports. You also have the same outcomes from doing ads on any of those platforms, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I think TikTok runs ads as well. So you'll get the data back to you. It'll talk about who looked at it, how long, who your demographics are, who saw the post, age groups, age categories, locations. I think it goes down to cities. So those are all great things for you to focus in on when you're honing in on like the final version of your marketing strategy. So just like with starting your agency, starting a marketing strategy, especially the first one, is always a little bit challenging, but I wouldn't not do it. I would for sure take out the time, even if it takes you over a couple of weeks or a couple of days to complete it, so that when you're in a place where you have a federal government contract, or if you may have a flu clinic contract like we did back in the day, you're already have in place a pipeline or a process to access those applicants, and then of course take them through the process of getting hired. And a lot of that same stuff applies with getting clients. There's a little bit of tweaking with the client piece, but the same thought process would work for you. I will say for obtaining clients, it's a little bit different because there's shifts and there's waves happening in the industry that's impacting, the ability to effectively obtain clients. And like I said, we'll talk more about that in our next video. So when it comes to staffing agencies, it's important to develop different strategies, which is essentially what I'm saying. So you need to have a strategy that focuses on attracting clients through channels like email marketing or phone calls, And then you also want to have another strategy that aims at focusing on prospects or potential employees, which you can do, I believe, primarily through social media. I think social channels just allow you to reach more people. We recently launched a virtual job fair here at the NOSA group where people from the NOSA group can be a part of it. We've seen so many agencies, big, small, and large, jump on TikTok and Facebook and kind of just go live and talk about their respective job openings, what's happening in their business, and that be their thing they do every second Wednesday or every Thursday. And hundreds of people join. So it's worth exploring. If you want to know more about our virtual job fair, definitely feel free to reach out to us. And if you want to know more, definitely check out our website and our social media channels as well. If you haven't and you've watched this whole entire video or even a part of it, go ahead and subscribe to our channel so you can get updates on more upcoming videos.